Hi everyone, welcome to Bgtumblers. Okay guys, so this is a 20-ounce cup that I have already put my first layer of glitter on. I have put 2 layers of epoxy on, and so now I am just sanding it down to get any air bubbles out of it. And it really didn't have air bubbles, but I don't know, something with the glitter had stuck up more than usual. So I'm sanding it down really quickly to make sure that I don't feel anything. Go around the edges of the bottom of the cup. Get those sharp edges off. And I actually just use sandpaper from the Dollar Tree, and it works fine for me. And let's do the top edge a little bit. And just a little bit of a rim. Just run your finger around that, see how it feels. Still feels a little rough right here. Okay, all right, we got that smoothed out. Sanding this down like this and leaving just that little bit of silver right there will also ensure that your epoxy has a good place to seal. There we go. All right, and now I am going to just take, a paper towel and some 91% alcohol. Spray it really good and wipe it down clean. It's sliding off my hand. Need a little bit more on there, just to make sure it's all good and clean. And all the dust is off of it. That's going to dry really, really quickly. So next what we're going to do is we're going to put our decals on. Okay, so let's move this out of the way. Okay, throw that away. And what I'm going to use is this great little holder right here from Bama Cups. Now, okay, and I have my decals here. Now this cup is for a young teenage girl who is a dancer. So I always try to put the lid on normally to see if there's a place where the lid is the front of the lid and the back of the lid, but in this case it's just the one with the hole in it, so it really doesn't matter where you put your design. You can put your design anywhere. Now because I've sanded this and because I'm not using a water slide, I can put my design straight on this sanded cup. However, if you were using a if you were going to put a water slide on, you would have to spray it down with something, or because you want it glossy. If you were to put a water slide straight on this sanded cup, all of those scratches would show up. So I hate that you guys have to sit here and see me try to get this off. Now this is like this young lady is like 13 years old. 13, no, she's older than that. She's 14, I believe. So, and she's a dancer, so we're gonna level her out right here. Put it right in the middle. Guys, I like to use, I know water slides are great, but I cut mine out by hand. I have a Cricut and I also have a Silhouette, and I use both of them, but I like to cut mine out by hand. So what I'm gonna do is I have 3 pictures of her in her dance thing. All right, so here, now I'm gonna look straight back here, and I'm gonna decide whether I had I think this one is too fat for this cup. I'm gonna put her name here. I also had a tiny picture of her as a ballerina here. Let's put the name on first, and then we can see. I love using dollar store vinyl. This is dollar store vinyl. It works perfectly for me. And plus it is a good value. So let's put that right down there in the center. Oh, all of my tools are all the way over here. Here we go. Okay. Okay, I think I got that out really good. And there are no air bubbles. This weeded really well, guys. I like the dollar store, plus it's economical. And of course, we know it's not a dollar store anymore. It's a $1.25 store. But that's still a good price. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. Okay. Now, I want to see if possibly I had this little picture of her. I think that is actually too much color. So, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to take a moment and I'm going to cut around her, and you guys don't have to watch me do that, because I think I would also like to put this picture of her, well, that is too close. Maybe this picture of her right here. How about that? Down here, nope, right here. Yeah, that'll be good, right there. Because the cup is all about her. And her being a dancer. Alright, so I take the other one. See, I was seeing if I could possibly, let me see if I could possibly cut this out really quickly. Oh, so I was telling you that I actually like, a lot of people like to do water slides. I like to do printable vinyl on a lot of things, especially on stuff like this. I think it comes out pretty vibrant. And I also think that I can put it on without having to do that extra step. The vinyl that I love using is from, let's see. The vinyl that I love using is from, should we put it there or should we put it here? I'm sorry, I rattle. I talk to myself a lot when I'm doing this too. The vinyl that I love using is from Hobby Lobby, and it's actually the Hobby Lobby brand. It prints out really well in my regular ink printer. And when I, oh, you know what? Maybe we'll just put her on the bottom. Yeah, how about that? Put her on the bottom. So she's drinking. Let's put her this way. Yeah, that'll be good. So when they put their Hobby Lobby brand stuff on sale, sorry, I digress, jumping back and forth. When they put their Hobby Lobby brand stuff on sale for half off isn't when I normally go in and stock up. Because, you know, Hobby Lobby doesn't do coupons anymore. But when they put their stuff on sale, Hobby Lobby brand for 50% off, I go in and stock up. And since I know this young lady, and I'll probably be doing something for her later, or the word faith means something else, which is her name, I will use that later. Okay, so now this cup is ready for me to go to the next step. And the next step, let's push that up in there. The next step for me, when I am doing vinyl or labels or anything, I like to put a coat of Quick Coat on there. It's a urethane sealer, and it is by Counterculture. I'm gonna try though going to Walmart and just buying some clear urethane and see if that works in the same way, because this stuff is a little expensive. So, but what this does is it seals down the edges of the, of your vinyl, whether it's words or anything else. Ooh, this is a makeup brush, simple Dollar Tree makeup brush that I got from Dollar Tree. And all I do is on the bigger cups, or on sometimes on the cups where it is, I've got the like letters doubled. Like if I put a letter behind it, it'll take like 2 coats. What this does is it seals it down so that I can use less epoxy. Sometimes when I have like double letters right here, I put 2 coats of this on. I put my little heater up beside it and I let it dry for 15 to 20 minutes in between the second coat. Don't forget your butt, because I put something under there, remember? And it does not take, it actually, when I'm using the brush, it takes less when I use this brush, this little brush to put it on, than it did to use my hand. And you can use your gloved hand the same way you put your epoxy on. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay this right here for a second on my mat. I'm gonna put any of my unused Quick Coat back in the bottle, because as I said, this stuff is expensive. All right, I'm gonna set this aside just in case I need to put another coat on. Put my timer on for 15 minutes. Put a little heater down. And guys, this is a little heater that I got from Walmart. It works perfectly. And at the end of the season last year, they put them all on sale for $5. I went back and bought like 10 of them because I said, you know, I don't know how long they're gonna last. I don't know how many I need because I've got stations all over my little workroom here. So I went back and bought 10 of them and I just stashed them. All right, so we're gonna set that aside. Where's my Ziploc bag? Oh, here's my Ziploc bag. I am going to put this in my Ziploc bag so that it won't dry up in the 15 minutes. All right, and I'll be back when this is dry. Okay guys, so we're gonna take the little heater off. It's been 15 minutes and we are going to just test this. You know what, this is so thin, I think just the just another coat of epoxy will do. All right, now this is how I do mine because I'm old and I can't see. So I think, I actually think we'll do just 15. This is a smaller cup. And I'm going to put it up here. I am going to be using KS Resin Liquidy Split. Sorry, can't talk. All right, I put the thick one in first. The bottle's getting a little low. I guess I'll have to fill it back up. I like to put the thick one in first because it's more controllable to get to my line, because it's that first line that always screws me up. I always kind of go over the amount, so it's easier to stop at the correct amount with the first one. And then a lady on TikTok gave the tip to stir with the ball in. I'm gonna put my timer on, well, 4 minutes, but actually 3 is what I need. Now normally I heat these a little bit, but it's really warm down here in my room, so I'm just gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna stop talking while I'll do this because I'll probably cut some of it out, guys. Alrighty, you don't need to see me stirring for 4 minutes. Okay, so that is actually 3 minutes, even though it had a minute left on there because I had it on 4. And this has a lot of little bubbles. This has a lot of little bubbles in it. And so I'm just gonna wipe those off. Clean off my stirring tool here. Okay, going to put the gloves on, and I'm going to use a little bit of heat at the end of this, so we'll try to hope that all of these bubbles come out. And this is a small cup, so I should be able to get them out. And I apologize if you hear my dog in the background. She is outside at the back door waiting for my daughter to let her in. This is actually going on pretty good. I think just when I use one layer of vinyl, it doesn't take as many layers of epoxy or as many layers of my quick coat. Actually, I think this vinyl is a little bit thicker than the vinyl for the pictures. So it's probably going, because I'm feeling it. I am actually feeling it, so it's probably going to take 2 coats of epoxy, and that's okay, because my next coat won't have to be that, it won't have to be that thick. It can be a little, really, really thin coat. This is turning out so pretty. This blue is gorgeous. It is just so gorgeous and shiny. And the quick coat actually brings out, I put that on, it actually brings out the color in the, starts to bring out the color in the vinyl. But when I put this epoxy on, man, it really makes it pop. I love doing tumblers. I love crafting. I also have a scrapbook channel that I do a lot of making my own scrapbooks, but my passion right now is, and has been for quite a while, is making these tumblers. And I don't like the sublimation ones. I mean, I like them, they're pretty. I have the machine, I can do them, and I have done some, but I really like doing them the old-fashioned way because I like the context of touching, of like, it's more like I created it. And I know we still created it when we do it with sublimation, but I don't know. I just like doing this way better. This is so pretty to me. Sometimes simple is more. Okay, all of my epoxy out of this cup because this stuff is expensive. As we all know as crafters. Alrighty, that is going to be so nice. Work it through. Try to get as many of the bubbles out as possible before I hit it with the heat. Because you can, it's hard to see the bubbles because this blue has, it's so pretty. I think that got most of them. So now I will clean up my hand and hit this with a little heat. Make sure there are no buckets. Now you need to move around your cup, not stay in one place too long because you don't want to burn your epoxy. And that will put bubbles in it, and those you can't get out. Make sure on your pictures that you don't have any bubbles, because you darn sure don't want any on her face. And this is the last time I'm going to take it around with this. And there we go. All right. Oops. Things don't want to suck over here. Oh no, I'm all butterfingers. All right, so I'm going to bring my little heater back down. Put that in place. Whip out my timer. And because this is a quick dry epoxy, it will dry to the touch in about 2 hours. It'll be fully dry in 4, so I'm gonna set my timer for 4 hours, and I will check it in 2 hours because it'll be dry to the touch, and I'm gonna see if it actually needs another coat in 2 hours. If it does, then I can put another coat on it in about 2 hours, and then go on from there. All right, see you back soon. Okay guys, so it is a little over 2 hours. I'm going to check my cup and see if it's dry, see if it has any air bubbles on it that I feel. I only put 1 coat over the pictures, so let's just fill it all the way around. It is very dry to the touch, but I still do want it to cure a little bit longer. So I'm filling it. There are none on the bottom. The edges around the bottom of the cup feel good. I don't see any air bubbles. I don't feel any air bubbles, and it does feel dry to the touch. So I'm gonna cut my little heater off. Take that out. And something I did not think about, let's cut this off. I still want this to dry. So I'm gonna use my homemade drying rack here, which is a pool noodle wrapped in some drawer liner with some tape around it, and it is on a Dollar Tree paper towel holder stand. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to slide it on there, and I'm going to set it aside and let it continue to just cure out. Okay? But what I totally forgot was the top. I had cleaned it up, I had washed and cleaned it, but it needs another coat. So, oops. Ooh, that is way too close, I think. So, this is what I had in it originally. Ooh, there we go. This is what I had in it originally, which is just some painter's tape. It's balled up. I put it in the top like this to keep that top open so that no epoxy would go down in there. And it needs another coat before I kind of sand it a little bit more. So I'm gonna open this back out. I need something to sit it on, so let's see. Maybe one of my little cups right here. Let's turn it up this way. All right. And I did wash and clean this very well because it had been sitting over on the side for a while, and I did not want it to get a lot of dust on it. So I'm just going to make sure I got it top covered pretty well. And then I'm going to do just a tiny bit on the, on the sides. Because I don't want it to really drip, but it will drip, so I'll have to kind of watch it and clean it up. Because it will drip down, because this isn't rotating like that over there. At some point, because I have a bunch of these cups, at some point I will come up with an attachment, and I could probably use my pen attachment and just figure out a different way, because it's heavy and it's only one that would hold it up, so I'd have to balance it off with something. I'm just getting around here, just making sure that it doesn't get in the hole. And I'll come back and wipe it down. Oops. There we go. Gotta make sure it's exactly in that center. And it's probably gonna need another coat. Sand it down a little bit. After that, let's make sure it doesn't have any air bubbles. I don't really see any. And this has got an hour and 45 minutes on it, so that should be dry enough for me to put another quick coat on there. And once I put the second coat on there, we should be good to go with that. Okay guys, here's the finished product. My tumbler is finished. There were no air bubbles. It is beautiful. It's sparkly. It's all nice and even. It sits even on the bottom. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and join the channel and share. Have a great day and keep on crafting.